This lesson is about fundamentals of music that you should know to have a progress in learning this amazing science. Any artist, be it a painter, sculptor, or a ballet dancer, has at his disposal a definite basic material using which he creates his artworks. For instance, a painter uses the colors, sculptor uses a marble, and a dancer uses the movements. In order for creative process to be possible, it is necessary to organize the basic material into a system of elements that could be comfortably used. Before starting a work, a painter is organizing a system of different colors on his palette. A sculptor chooses a different kind of stones as well as the ways of work with it. And a dancer has a full set of movements of which his performance is composed. Musicians, in turn, have their own basic material, and this material is a sound. One of the most important characteristics of a sound is a pitch. A pitch is a highness or lowness of a sound. Despite the huge amount of different pitches that we could hear, actually there are only 7 letters of alphabet are used to describe them. This is because the 7 basic sounds have a tendency to repeat at different pitch levels. That's why we have only 7 letters of English alphabet that are used to name these 7 sounds. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let's talk a bit about the terms pitch and the pitch classes. As we already know, a pitch simply means a lowness or highness of a sound. A pitch class is a category of pitches that share the same name and related by octaves. Also, a pitch class contains all notes of the same name regardless of octave. For example, C of the small octave and C of the one-line octave sounds the same, that's why we say that they belong to the same pitch class. D sharp of the great octave sounds the same as the D sharp of the small octave, and so on. A scale is a collection of pitches following in ascending or descending order. 7 basic sounds or tones within each octave represent a scale called diatonic scale. Five additional tones added to the 7 basic tones form a scale called chromatic scale. They don't have a specific names. Their names are formed by adding signs of alterations or accidentals, sharps or flats, to the 7 basic tone names. As a result, an octave was divided into 12 intervals called half steps, half tones, or semitones, forming a tuning system that has been accepted as the standard. This tuning system became known as equal temperament tuning system, in which the octave is divided into 12 intervals of equal size, called half steps, half tones, or semitones. Every musician has at his disposal that exact tuning system from the very first steps. A scale, as we know, is a collection of pitches in ascending and descending order. 7 basic tones following one after another in a certain order form a scale called diatonic scale. These 7 tones are also called the 7 scale degrees. The first degree of diatonic scale is considered to be a C tone. There are 7 diatonic scales according to a number of diatonic scale degrees that belongs to a diatonic group of scale, but the most common of them are major diatonic scale and minor diatonic scale. Major diatonic scale is built on the first degree of diatonic scale. Minor diatonic scale is built on the 6th degree of diatonic scale. Each degree of the 7-tone diatonic scale has a name that relates to its function. First, tonic, the final resolution tone. Second, supertonic, located 1 step above the tonic. Third, mediant, midway between tonic and dominant. Fourth, subdominant, or the lower dominant, the 5th tone down from the tonic. Fifth, dominant, the high stable tone. Its function is next in importance to the tonic. Sixth, submediant, the lower mediant, halfway between the tonic and the lower dominant, or subdominant, the third tone down from the tonic, and also sixth tone up from the tonic. Seventh, leading tone, leads melodically to the tonic. This name used when the seventh tone appears a half step below the tonic. Subtonic, the name subtonic used to designate the seventh degree of the natural minor scale, a whole step below the tonic. Scale degrees are divided into two groups. First group called the group of stable degrees, which are first, third, and fifth degrees. The second group is the group of unstable degrees, which are second, fourth, sixth, and seventh degrees. Key refers to the first pitch of the major or minor scale that the song is based on. Tonality refers to an organized system of tones of a major or minor scale in which the first tone, the tonic, becomes the central point in which remaining tones are related. Major and minor scales that have the same key signatures are said to be in a relative relationship. To find the relative minor, for example, of any major scale, find the sixth degree of that scale. This tone is the tonic of the relative minor key. To find the relative major of a minor key, find the third degree of the minor scale. This tone is the tonic of the relative major key. Interval in music simply means the distance between two tones. This distance could be described using an interval called half step, half tone, or semitone that represent the smallest measurement of musical range. Let's take a look at the table of intervals. Perfect unison. Minor second. Major second. Minor third. Major third. Perfect fourth. Tritone, augmented fourth or diminished fifth. Perfect fifth. Minor sixth. Major sixth. Minor seventh. Major seventh. Perfect octave. Triad is a combination of two intervals, they're called thirds. Also, triad could be introduced and described as a group of three stable scale degrees of a major or minor scale, which are first, third, fifth scale degrees. There are two types of thirds, major third and minor third. According to the combination of these intervals, we have four types of triads. Major, minor, diminished, and augmented. Primary triads in major and minor keys are triads that build on the first, fourth, and fifth scale degrees. They're also called tonic, subdominant, and dominant. This triad is called primary because in a major key all of them will be major, and in a minor key all of them will be minor. Triads built on the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th degrees called secondary, and they don't have the specific characteristics. Root position of a triad. The root is the pitch from which a triad is generated. Triads have two inversions, first inversion and the second inversion. Inversion simply means repositioning the lowest sound of a triad up an octave. First inversion. Second inversion. Major scale harmonized with triads. Minor scale harmonized with triads. A seventh chord is a chord that consists of a triad and the interval called third. There are 5 types of seventh chords that are commonly used in jazz music. Major seventh, minor seventh, half diminished seventh, diminished seventh, dominant seventh. Seventh chord has 3 inversions. First inversion, second inversion, and third inversion. Major scale harmonized with seventh chords. Minor scale harmonized with seventh chords. Arpeggio. An arpeggio is when the notes of a chord are performed one after another instead of all at the same time.